Have you ever had that feeling, like you're just running on a treadmill at work? You're putting in all the hours, you are working so hard, but you're just not really getting anywhere. It feels like you're playing by a rule book that, well, it just doesn't work anymore. My name is Nick, and I spend way too much time thinking about the outdated rules of work and money. If you're someone who feels stuck in a career that promises stability but just delivers anxiety, make sure to hit the subscribe button and give this explainer a thumbs up if this helps you out.
Okay, let's just dive right in with this quote, because it's a gut punch. Hard work was optimized for factories, not humans. We are all taught from day one that hard work is the secret to success, right? But here's what most people don't realize. The entire system we're working in was never, ever designed for our fulfillment. It was designed to make a factory run as efficiently as possible, and we're just the cogs in that machine.
And that really leads to this feeling, doesn't it? That you're just a number, a data point on a spreadsheet. Your performance, your value, everything you do gets boiled down to a single metric on some manager's dashboard. But here's the thing, this isn't just a feeling you're having. It's the very real, direct result of a system that's been built over 100 years, a system that's built on a lie.
Right, so that brings us to the absolute core of this whole mess. I call it the great work lie. This is the foundational promise that our parents and their parents all bought into. It's the idea that if you just keep your head down and play by the rules, everything's gonna be okay.
And you know the promise I'm talking about. Show up on time, work hard, stay loyal to one company for your whole career. And in return, that company will take care of you. You'll get that steady paycheck, maybe a pension, and you'll climb that corporate ladder to a secure, happy retirement. Look, here's the thing. This promise wasn't always a myth. For our grandparents' generation, it was pretty real. But that time is long gone. And clinging to this outdated promise today is probably the single biggest financial mistake you can make.
So why is that promise so completely broken? Well, to figure that out, we have to look at where our idea of a job even came from. We gotta go back to its factory origins. Because that nice open plan office you might be sitting in, it's really just a factory with better lighting and free coffee.
And this is the part that most people find really hard to swallow. We think of getting a job as our path to freedom, right? Financial freedom, personal freedom, but the modern job as a concept was never about that. From the very beginning, it was designed for one thing: control. It's all about standardizing what people do to make them predictable, efficient, just like another part on an assembly line. And check this out, you can literally trace this obsession with control through history. It starts way back in the late 1700s, with factories basically forcing humans to sync up with machines. Then in 1911, this guy Frederick Taylor comes along with his scientific management, which is a fancy way of saying he timed and optimized every single human movement. Of course, that leads directly to the assembly line, where every single worker becomes just one tiny monitored step in a huge process. Fast forward to the 80s, and all that monitoring just goes digital with computers. And today, look where we are now. The exact same assembly line logic is now run by AI. The office looks different, sure, but the underlying philosophy of total control, it's exactly the same.
So what does all this mean for you, right now, in your job? Well, it means you get to meet your new boss. And your new boss is a robot. That old factory blueprint has been supercharged by technology, creating this new, totally invisible, and incredibly powerful kind of manager.
Now there's a fancy academic name for it: algorithmic management. But what it really means is that software, not a person, is making the key decisions. The algorithm decides who gets what assignment. It's tracking your performance second by second, and it's deciding if you get rewarded or, penalized. Think about Uber's software telling a driver where to go, or Amazon's system tracking how fast someone in a warehouse is packing boxes. That is your robot boss in action.
And this is really the heart of the problem, right? Look at the difference. A human manager, ideally, brings things like empathy and context. They might know you're having a rough week because your kid is sick. But the algorithmic manager, it has no empathy. It doesn't see context. It just sees that your performance metrics are down 7%. It can't measure your creativity or the fact that you helped a coworker solve a problem. It can only measure what's easy to count. And so you're not a person anymore. You're just a number.
And the psychological impact of all this, man, it's huge. It creates something researchers call a digital panopticon. A panopticon was this old prison design where a single guard could see any prisoner at any time, but the prisoners never knew if they were being watched. And the result? The prisoners started policing themselves. They acted as if they were always being watched. Sound familiar? That's the modern workplace. You change how you act because you know that every click, every email, every single minute is being logged and measured. It's control through the fear of constant surveillance. Now you might be thinking, okay Nick, this sounds a little creepy and dystopian, but hey, if my job is stable and it pays the bills, who cares? Well, here's the thing, that stability you think you have, it's an illusion. And this is where that great work lie truly, completely falls apart.
Just look at this number for a second. This isn't just my opinion. This comes straight from the McKinsey Global Institute. 375 million people. That's about 14% of the entire global workforce might have to completely switch careers by 2030. That's not some distant future, that's practically tomorrow. The idea of a safe 40-year career isn't just outdated anymore. For most of us, it's mathematically impossible.
So why is this happening? It's basically a perfect storm of these three massive forces hitting us all at the same time. First, you've got automation. And I'm not just talking about robots in factories anymore. We're talking about AI coming for white-collar, creative, and analytical jobs. Second, there's globalization. Your competition isn't just the person in the cubicle next to you. It's a global pool of talent willing to work for less, which of course leads directly to the third force, outsourcing. Companies will always look to move work to wherever it can be done cheapest. These three things together are a wrecking ball for the whole idea of job security.
All right, I know, that was a lot, and it sounds pretty grim, but hang on, because this is where it gets really interesting. The very same forces that are creating all of this chaos and this uncertainty, they are also creating the single biggest opportunity of our lifetimes, but only if you know how to see it.
Here's the big mindset shift you need to make right now. Automation, technology, globalization, they aren't just threats, they are tools. In the hands of a big corporation, yeah, they're used to control you and cut costs, but in your hands, they are the tools you can use to build your own freedom. The internet doesn't care if you're a Fortune 500 company or just one person in a spare bedroom. The tools are there for everyone.
But to actually use these tools, you have to completely change the way you think about work. You have to ditch what I call the employee mindset. It's the mindset that's been programmed into us since kindergarten. It tells us to seek security above all else, to follow the established path, and to avoid risk no matter what. You have to replace it with an entrepreneurial mindset. This mindset looks at uncertainty and sees opportunity. It's about creating your own path instead of just following someone else's map. And it's about taking small, smart, calculated risks to build something that is truly yours.
Okay, so what does this actually look like? What's the new game plan? It's actually pretty straightforward. Number one, instead of looking for a job description to fit into, start looking for unsolved problems you can solve. Number two, focus all your energy on acquiring high-value skills that are hard for a robot to do. Things like creativity, critical thinking, complex problem solving. Number three, learn to leverage digital platforms. You have the tools to build an audience, market your skills, and deliver value to people all over the world for next to nothing. And finally, number four, build a network of collaborators, not just coworkers. In this new economy, your true security isn't your employer, it's your network.
So what this all boils down to is a new goal for your career. The old goal was to find a corporate ladder and start climbing. The new goal is to stop climbing and start building your own platform.
Look, here's the craziest part of all of this. The paradox is that the riskiest thing you can possibly do right now is try to be safe. Depending on one job, from one employer, for one single income stream, that is terrifyingly risky in a world that changes this fast. The true path to security isn't being a loyal employee anymore, it's becoming an entrepreneur. And hey, I don't mean you have to go start the next Amazon, I just mean taking total ownership of your career and focusing on creating your own value in the world.
So it all comes down to this. The old rule was, go find a job. That game is over. The new rule is, go create value. So I'm gonna leave you with this question. What value will you create? I really hope this explainer helps shift your perspective a bit. If it did, make sure to hit that subscribe button and let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Thanks for watching.